Welcome back to the world of 1800s OpenTTD. And in this episode, we're going to start expanding out our passenger service. So, to start with, we can see Stonehaven Green here. We have rather a lot of passengers waiting, and that's going to give us not a great rating. Now, we can see that the passenger rating is actually reasonable, because even though these are stacking up, it's a nicely frequent service, although if you notice, these are starting to cluster up. So let's start by dealing with this clump. So I'm just going to set up some timetable for these vehicles. So I'm putting in a little bit of a gap so that they space out nicely, and then just control click that start date. So these two stagecoaches now will have evenly spaced start dates, and that's about working. So the stagecoach route, I think, has enough capacity, roughly. So we could probably do with, if we're looking at the mail, there's definitely quite a bit of mail stacking up. So I am going to extend my mail route, having said this is going to be a passenger episode. We should know, if you're getting to episode 5 of me, that my intentions last for about 2 minutes before I get sidetracked down some sort of wayward lane. You know, this happens to me all the time. This happens to me while I'm driving, by the way. I will go out for a nice drive, and I'll have sort of a plan of, let's go a slightly long route to the supermarkets, and then I'll do something like I'll miss the critical turn that I need to take and end up going on sort of a drive halfway across the country, just when I was only intending to sort of take a slight detour while I went and got some potatoes. And this is happening verbally in this Let's Play. We've said, hey, let's set up some passenger networks, and with not even 2 minutes later, we're optimizing mail delivery. No, back to passengers. Back. Look at this. Look at all of these passengers, all of these pixelated people sitting at Stonehaven Green, standing at Stonehaven Green, thinking, where are the horses? Where is the train? So anyway, my point being that most of these are actually stacking up here. So, and they're mostly from Stonehaven Green. So you see that the passengers coming from Llanfair, they are being carted away by the stagecoaches, not by the carts, quite efficiently. But this is stacking up. So we're finding that passengers are sort of building up here, and probably down here we have the same problem. There's lots of passengers and mail waiting, and this is largely because we just have one little stack of horses going back and forth. And so let's start correcting this. So let's start by building out our station a little bit. So I'm still going to keep this kind of nice little single track station, but I'm going to just shift it along a little. And there we go. And then I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to remove that. And why am I doing this? As ever, I'm going to try to say why. Well, let's create a nice little sort of roll-on, roll-off station. So I'm going to put in the bridge here. This is fine, by the way, to be a concrete bridge. It's like, it will be many years before we get vehicles that are fast enough for the fact that the bridge only allows us to do 30 miles an hour to matter. So let's do that. Let's signal this up. And so now we have a roll-on, roll-off station here. And we want to do the same here without creating too much of this kind of roundabout situation which we had. So the freight line that comes around here, this I think we should... Oh, no, we don't want to drop that down. We want to raise that up. This, I think, if this comes around here, and like so with this, it still doesn't give us enough space, actually, to do what I wanted, which was to have the station kind of nicely independent from this line. So I'm going to bring that out here, and let's just bring this across here as double track. So I have a thing here. So we are going to need some sort of junction here. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Well, actually, that's created rather a problem, because that's not the right track. Let's do that. This is why I spend lots of my games having terrible horse accidents and steam accidents and other such collisions and fun. Oh, Coltrane Jane is lost. Come on, Coltrane Jane. You know that you can get to where you want to go. You know you can get to Stonehaven Green from here. So I wait for Coltrane Jane to figure out how the junction works. Come on, you can do it. There we go. There we go. That's better. What we're going to do is just set this up and just create a rather grim flat junction there. So there we go. So we're going to get rid of that and get rid of that. So this is now sort of a roll round station as well. But this is a slightly unfortunate setup. This is given when we built the New Rock Colliery station, where we built a roundabout and then said that a roundabout was a terrible idea, and then discovered why a roundabout was a terrible idea because it just blocked up. We're now going to make exactly the same mistake here because, you know, I'm nothing if not one for learning absolutely nothing from what I do. But you know, let's allow this. So now we have this roll on, roll off state with both of these. So this is not too heavily loaded a railway line. So we probably, famous last words, I think we may get away with this roundabout. But let's put some more horses in. And this is train 22. Oh, we never named these horses. And these aren't the cloning vats, so these are individual horses. So let's call it Clanbear Larry. And when was he born? It was 3 years ago, so he was born 1819. There we go. And right, I'm totally failing horse names. These are actually llamas in disguise. Ooh. Come on, let me set this up. Yes. So hopefully that will let me. The brakes. Oh no. Let's make that a bit more primitive. I'm so dedicated to the fact that these brackets have to be closed. There we go. Excellent. Right. So really disguised llamas can go on. So those are really disguised llamas. These are just going to be partly disguised llamas. And carrying on this theme is this pickle. I think these are going to be unexpected alpacas. There we go. They're all pretending to be horses, and this we need the same thing really with the timetable. So that I think this may be slightly optimistic. Let's set that up and let's set the start date. So this also has a problem as a timetable, which is there's actually no way for these sort of llamas and alpacas and occasionally horses to get past each other. So what we need to do here is instead of having that there, I'm going to move my bridge slightly out. And this with slow vehicles, by the way, we do have to be a little careful with this sort of layout, because every time I add sort of a loop like this, it does increase the travel time. And with vehicles that are as slow as the horses we have, this can actually make rather a difference to profit eventually. You know, maybe not just one or two of these, but if you keep going, you keep just adding loops and detours, probably find sort of a decent chunk of the money that you'll make from this journey. It suddenly goes to extra travel time, and so it does pay to be a little careful with how many sort of loops and detours. And this is why over here we have a flat junction, because to add a bridge to this, and we know that the horses will slow down to about 4 miles an hour going up here. That would increase the travel time quite a lot. So we're still at this stage. We're still very much trying to optimize for travel time. But anyway, that hopefully should reduce the passengers. Let's let that bed in, and let's look for somewhere else to start expanding. So with passenger networks, one of the things that I kind of look for when what I want is a nice sort of fairly flat area, and this is important in this kind of stage game as well with early vehicles. We don't want hills. That has a few towns. We build a nice pleasing loop of network. This looks ideal. This sort of northern side. Isn't there anything else around? Well, there's this bit down Parkston and Great Lancaster. It's also got some rivers. So we'd probably have to build some bridges. This has got an AI in it, so no joy there. There's again Lincoln, Bruce Groby. Ooh, which do we want? Well, this. Okay, I think I'm rather struggling to decide. No, I think over here, I think the reason we're going to sort of go Carbis Bay and Gainsborough and Cromer and Radair and Tywin is because these have some relatively nice short distances between them. So we can create a nice sort of network which hopefully will not have too many instances of where vehicles are taking ages to transport passengers. So let's start just by setting up some stagecoach networks again. So not large stagecoach networks, nothing too big. But, let's set up that there. Let's have that there. I think those cover the catchment area mostly, so that should be good enough. So these will be, there you go. And let's just do a little bit of timetabling. There we go. Right. Okay. So set that going. Let's remember to group it. Oh, I only have one ungrouped road vehicle. But I do. Yes, and no ungrouped trains because I did a control-click clone. So excellent. I'm doing very well in terms of forgetting, or rather not forgetting, to group my vehicles and keeping them very well organised. So I'm going to pull the Red Air Raiders. Like the... I suddenly minded there was a 1960s band, Paul Revere and the Raiders, which is absolutely completely irrelevant thing to just bring up out of habit that I remembered it. But there you go. It existed. It was a thing, and it's completely useless information that you don't need to do anything with. So anyway, so there we go. So that's going to go there, and this really, like these stations. Kind of, I just set them in there. They're starting to build up a little bit of passenger service. We're improving our local authority rating doing this. It's all, it's all positive and fluffy, and maybe they might even make us a little bit of money as well. Ooh, no, Cromer is interesting. So Cromer, we're trying to set up a kind of, a route that can run as a circle without spending lots of money going into this. Trying to build in the sea. I think this should work. Yes, this catchment area for this isn't perfect, but we will live with it. It'll be fine. Yes, there we go. And something interesting. I haven't built an HQ, so one thing I could do over here actually is let's build. I want to build it in Cromer. Yes, yes, but I think. I would like to rename this. I think Cromer, is a nice enough town, but this doesn't sound cool enough. I think Blue and Co should be in Chrome City. There we go. That's much cooler. It has chrome in the title. It's shiny. So you're going to build an HQ, and one of the benefits of building an HQ there is that the HQs in OpenTTD actually do contribute a little to passenger traffic. So you have a very small amount of passengers that will now travel to and from the HQ. So anyway, let's do that. So that's going to go there. Do there, and there we go. Let's set that running and I'll clone it in a bit. But firstly, passengers is going to be the Chromium Kings. There we go. That's set that up. Excellent. Right. Very happy with that. Let's leave Chrome City for now and let's move down to Gainsborough because we want to keep building some passenger networks. And already also we have a slight issue here, which is that we don't really have anywhere. We haven't really set up a good layout here for us to build a rail station near. But let's continue on. Actually, one thing we could do is just extend a road out here, and then Chrome City make this one of these little corner stations. In fact, I could make that a mail station, couldn't I? And that would solve my gold. So I'm just setting this up. Well, let's set up mail as well, and may as well just let ourselves get totally distracted by this. So let's set up a mail service as well while we're here. Does this? Yes, this accepts mail. This accepts mail. Good. I don't want to get caught with a situation where my mail service doesn't actually go anywhere that accepts mail. And this is quite easy to do, by the way, with the sort of mail stops. When you're building them out far in the city, you kind of, most things accept passengers, but maybe not. The mail stops, you can end up with them not accepting mail, and then you go back and you're like, oh, well, why is my dray or my sort of my van or whatever else I'm using to carry mail, why is it not making a profit? Oh, well, none of its stops actually accept the thing it's carrying. That's why you're not making any profit. So anyway, let's extend out to Gainsborough as well, and just build some of these little kind of town centre bus networks, or even town outskirt bus networks, really. And these, but yeah, these I'm not anticipating these to make me much money. In fact, I'm kind of anticipating some of these to lose me money, but also these early vehicles, these stagecoaches, I'm not anticipating them to cost me much money either. So this is kind of fine now at this stage. When we're looking at the kind of operating profits now, we're making kind of 20,000 a quarter or so, which is not huge in OpenTTD terms. Normally you'd expect the sort of after a while in the game to be making millions, especially with sort of better vehicles. But this is the point at which we don't have to be so sort of relentlessly sort of profit obsessed. We can just provide a service, and while we need to keep an eye on it and not let too much build up, not so that we're just sitting there subsidizing unprofitable services with our few profitable ones. It is fine at this stage to just be fairly lenient, keep an eye on it, but not worry too much. Gainsborough increases. I think that sounds like a good name for a group of vehicles. Okay, so that's set up. So we also at some point want to go into Carbis Bay. So let's do Carbis Bay now as well. Yes, and then in Carbis Bay we'll just have a single kind of long drag down here. That will work. Actually, we're kind of missing the town centre, so there we go. Carbis Bay stores. No. Carbis Bay Central. Okay, let's just call it a real. There we go. There's a. Let's call that Carbis Bay. This is Carbis Bay fake central. This is not actually central at all. So okay, let's build some stagecoaches, and there we go. Fake central, real central, just regular old Carbis Bay, and there we go. Let's put that for 3 days, that for 3 days, and that for 3 days, and that for 3 days. Off we go. So there we go, and another one which I'll just set going. These should probably think about spacing this out, but we'll come back and we'll do that later. This is how, it's the 1800s. All these proverbs, like you wait ages for a bus and then three come along at once. These proverbs have to come from practical experience. So we're just building that practical experience for people now, and then we'll come back and make these more efficient later. Oh, and finally, we should name this as well. So let's call this Carbis Bay carburetors. There we go. The carburetor is yet to be invented, and probably yet to be spelt correctly by me. I didn't even go and look that up. It's entirely wrong. I don't know whether that's just a British English spelling or whether it's just a wrong spelling. But that's there we go. Those are running. So, and we now have a nice little set of bus networks. So that's got us to about our nice little bite-sized 20 minutes. No, a large chunky bite, like sort of cramming an entire sausage roll into your mouth and wandering around with flakes drifting gently from the corners. And as people sort of go, "My God, what are you doing?" and you realise it's not a Half-Life reference. They are actually just asking you, "My God, what are you doing? Creating a mess, filling my shop with sausage roll flakes." But yes, much in the manner of distraction, which just happened yet again, and the attempt to get these bite size. We didn't get to build any railway yet to connect these, but that is a topic for another episode, which I hope you will join me for.